It's the biggest con job we work on ourselves. There are so many bones of big dreams in that graveyard. With people, there's always something. There's always going to be a set of reasons to wait. This is the Matt J. Hannum Show, where I have candid conversations with inspiring people and turn topics inside out to help you grow your business and create more freedom in life. Hey, welcome back to another episode of the show, everyone. And yeah, how about that for a little hook for you? Yeah, maybe it's got you already. Maybe you want to hear the rest. So I saw this little excerpt from a conversation with Price Pritchett on the School of Greatness podcast. He was having a conversation with Lewis Howes. If you don't know Price or Lewis, definitely Google that conversation and or either of them. Definitely big brands, authors, inspiring individuals to check out. But basically, as the quote goes, I'll elaborate for you. So, Price says, I'll tell you where big dreams go to die. They go to the planning place, the getting ready place, preparing myself, and it's the biggest con job we work on ourselves. There are so many bones of big dreams in that graveyard. With people, there's always something. There's always going to be a set of reasons to wait. When are you going to take that risk? Make your move before you're ready. So that sent a bit of a chill down my spine when I saw that. And maybe you'll see it on Instagram or wherever I saw it too, and it'll give you the same chill. But I just wanted to unpack that quickly, briefly, and just talk about what I took from it. Because interestingly, on that post, there was a heap of comments around planning. And I didn't think that was about planning. For me, that wasn't really about planning at all. It was about inaction and excuses. So it's not, to me, about the fact that planning is the wrong thing to do. It's that we use planning as this excuse. We have to do more research. We need more money, more resources. That's a common thing, more time, but we always have more opinions, more market testing, you name it. We use it as an excuse to not do. And the thing about the planning thing is when we say we're planning, I think, well, certainly from my own experience, you're not actually planning a damn thing. So I think that's the kicker. It's planning is this perfect thing of talking about doing it, feeling out how other people think about it, what you're saying, what's going on. Planning in this concept isn't really planning at all. It's really just doing nothing. So I don't think it's also giving, a license to you. I don't think he's giving you a license to shoot from the hip and just do something crazy. I think it means actually do something. So time spent planning, I love to plan, it's fantastic. But I also know that I can over-plan. And so there's a big difference between me clearly, concisely putting a plan together and starting to execute versus me over-planning, thinking, researching, making sort of half decisions, flipping back on those decisions, going again. And I think the thing about planning properly, if you actually get to the core of what it is that you're trying to do and you execute on that planning like you are genuinely about to execute on the whole thing, is it delivers a kind of key result. It tells you how much, do you really want this? How much effort are you truly prepared to deliver, or even have you delivered? It really asks you the question, are you going to achieve this, or do the work that is preparing you to actually achieve this? Are you going to do the inputs? Because the answer tends to become pretty obvious. We might say we're planning for something, but the truth is that it's just kind of a negative vision. It's not something you really want anyway, but you just sort of, I'm planning to do that thing. I'm planning to write that book. Books are a perfect analogy, just like every other thing. But I'm planning to write that book isn't I'm actually doing this plan and executing on this book. Because I guess either you're pissed off and you're just pissed off because you haven't taken action on that goal, or it's not really a goal you want to do. It's kind of a nice to have. It's a thing that you feel like it'd be nice, but actually you're either too scared or you don't really want it. You don't really believe in it. It's not the thing. So I think planning is amazing, because if you truly plan as if you're going to execute, you'll know the answer. The action is planning in that regard. And it actually reminds me of a concept or I guess a quote from Tony Robbins. I think it might have been a story from Tony Robbins. And it was a quote that I used to use with my own team a lot when we wrapped up team meetings. And he used to ask the question, he talked about this, I think he talked about a deal. And he said, before he left meetings, he'd say, what can we do right now to continue the momentum? So before he would leave a meeting, even if he's late for another one or otherwise, they'd fire an email off asking for a counter offer on something, or they'd make a call to an agent, or they would approve a design. Just, whatever it is that next bridge, that next step to keep the momentum going, as opposed to saying, we'll decide on that later. The key to it is really, I think, decisions, and that's what this is. And I see that this planning is making decisions and doing things. Whereas in reality, Price back here is talking about we sort of go in this planning loop. And that's where big dreams go to die. They never get out of there. There's bones everywhere in the graveyard. They're on this perpetual loop of never really doing anything, never really taking a step and not doing that thing that gets momentum. I can so relate to this, and I'm struggling to come up with a actual clear, concise example because there is just so many. But whether it's launching a new product within the business, within Visible, whether it's been about my writing, books, there's several different draft books that I've got going, and I always have some focus on a project and then, maybe we just need to put that one on the back burner. Something else is more interesting. Something else is more important. This client issue is more important. There is so many times that I think I slip back on the planning loop, and they don't go to die, hopefully. I like to think that a lot of my things, my goals, my dreams are not going there to die. They're just getting delayed a little bit. And hopefully that's all it is. Delayed by a day, delayed by a week, delayed by a month, delayed by a year, maybe 5. But I'd like to think that I'm always going to continue to follow through. But just what if we could just do that thing that Tony Robbins said, and just before we stand up from that desk, before we leave this meeting, before we hang up on that call, before we leave the client, maybe we just do that one little thing that starts to snowball that momentum. What can we do right now to keep the momentum? Because as Price said, we don't want these big dreams to go to this graveyard of planning, the getting ready place, the preparing myself place. It gives me chills. This biggest con job, we definitely work on ourselves. I've worked on myself many times, and it's time. Yeah, it's time to just remind myself of that as often as possible. Just keep the momentum going. Keep doing something. Don't get caught in the planning place. I hope that's another, it seems to be the theme of these episodes at the moment, just lighting a little fire under, I guess it's me, I guess it's for you, I guess it's for all, but these little snippets are coming to me, and I'm just, really moved by them. And maybe it's because it's the early part of the year and we're getting started again to, people are getting ramped up. Kids are going back to school, which is great, all those kind of things, if you've got kids. And now's the time to take some action on those goals while we're all feeling fresh and fit and ready to go for another year. So that's another Inside Out episode. Thanks for listening to the show. hit me up on my Instas, on my Insta or my socials anywhere, at Matt J. Hannum across all platforms, profiles. Please do share this if you find it interesting, or give me a comment. And until next time, thanks for listening to the show.